This video is about argument pass tutorial using Notepad++ and Windows command lines. So let's get started. So if you go to this website, which is docs.python.org, how to argument pass.html. It's gonna bring you to this. So the author is Shipang Kobe. Sorry for spelling, but that is the credit by the author. So I'm gonna be following this tutorial and try it with Notepad++ and Windows command line. So let's see how it goes. So here he said that he or she, I'm not sure, this tutorial is intended to be a gentle introduction to argument pass, the recommended command line passing module to the Python standard library. Note that there are two other modules that fulfill the same task, namely getOff, an equivalent for getOff from C language, and the deprecated, which is ArgParse. Note that argument pass is based on ArgParse and therefore very similar in terms of usage. So that's interesting that we know that there are two more. That's interesting. C style parser for command line options. Kind of just so if someone is programming in C, they will come into this very easily. Good. And I got option parser for command line option. Cool, pretty cool. But I'm gonna back to this because somehow I use this a little bit, so probably it's easier for me to follow this tutorial. Firstly, the concepts. Let's show the sort of functionality that we are going to explore in this introductory tutorial by making use of the ls command. So it's really interesting that the tutorial is actually for Linux, not for Windows, but I'm trying to follow it by Windows, so I need to have at the same time Linux and Windows. But that's good that somebody is following this. Maybe they can do it in batch, but they cannot do it in command line. So I'm trying to do that in command line Windows. But here I got this. So inside here I have I'm gonna start a bash command in here because I install in my system. I install Linux for Windows, so I got bash terminal, which is similar to what we got in Mac, I think, Linux, Ubuntu Linux. It's actually, this one is a Ubuntu. It's Ubuntu version 20 or something. And underneath here, I'm gonna start command. So I got command line and on top such bash Linux terminal. So here we got ls py ls minus and ls help. So it's just a ls command. If you type ls in here, it's not gonna recognize this external command. But you type ls in here, it's gonna show you okay, ls is some to the container folder. So we got a few concepts we can learn from 4 commands. The ls command is useful when run with any option at all. So it defaults to display the content of the current directory. So and if we want beyond that normal information by default, we can put in something py and it will show us a bit more information. And if we put in -l, it will show even more information. So that is the introduction, and it's a good example of how to use a program in a command line. Firstly, the basic. So let's start with a very simple example which does almost nothing. We're gonna have to have a Python. So we're gonna put in here import argument pass. Okay, so here I got import argument pass, and inside that I got a parser is argument pass dot argument parser. Then I call parser dot pass. I save it and run. I got nothing, and I can also run it here. I got nothing. I can also run it here, and I got nothing. The following is a result of running the code. If we do that, we got nothing. But how about we change to minus help? Okay, so after we do that, we get something. We get a kind of health. So we got uses test.py minus head, an optional argument minus head or minus health. Show this health message and exists. Interesting. Here similar in command line window. If I Python doing like that and minus maybe test and minus it does the same thing. So if I type in like this Python 3 test and verbose, it shows so similar here. I got in and verbose and I got And as well, if I put in Python 3 test and put in full, I got unrecognized arguments here. Similar, I got test full. Similar, I got so you see, up to this, we got bash command and window command is working the same thing, the same way. So here is what happening. Running the script without any result in nothing. Display standout, so not so. The second one starts to display usefulness of the argument pass module. Actually, we have done almost nothing, but already we get a nice message. We have -h and minus help. So the help option, which can also be shortened to h, is the only option you get for free. In other words, no need to specify it. Specifying anything else results in an error. But even then, we do get a useful message also for free as well. That is, if we type in full, we got an error, but we also got this message. Next is introducing positional argument. Here we got an example. So we got the example here. I'm gonna go back to the notepad. I'm gonna open new file, save. I'm gonna import. So in order to type it quicker, I'm just gonna type in same. So import argument pass, then I put in parser, and maybe for learning purpose we should type it everything. Import argument pass, then parser is equal to that dot parser. So after we got parser, so it's an object we're gonna call add argument, and we enter echo. Save it as program test.py, and we put the argument is actually parser. Argument print to save energy, and finally we print the echo. Run it standard by. So when we run it, it's tell we need to have, so it's not used to run command. So now we got the 3 test, and just it's gonna like use test. So that got a parser, we add another parser. So print out the print echo. We're gonna change the script of stand what is actually. So for the print and put it in if we put app and echo and put it, I just let what is run. I not argument echo. Did it print yet? So again, I'm gonna just make a left here in code, run it again by use because error follow echo. If put in minus health, it's gonna tell additional argument. If I run it by income, and I got the same, put in a height, what same thing. And if I put in full, okay, when I put in full, it's gonna echo. If we got an argument, it's gonna print out. If we put out, it's gonna print out which is argument. Okay. So here is what happening. We've add the add argument method, which is what we use to specify which command line option the program is willing to accept. So in this case, we've named it echo, so that is in line with its function. We name it echo here. So calling our program now requires us to specify an option. We need to have an option inside that. So this method actually returns some data from the options specified. In this case, echo is specified. The variable is some form of magic that argument pass performs for free. In other words, no need to specify which variable that value is stored in. You will also notice that its name matches the string argument given to the method echo. So note that, however, although the help display looks nice and all, it currently is not as helpful as it can be. For example, we see that we got echo as a positional argument, but we don't know what it does other than by guessing or by reading the source code. So let's make it a bit more useful. So we change it to import parser is that one, and the parser is add argument, and then we got some help for the argument, which is echo the string you use here. Okay, and then you can, when you run it again, it's gonna show you position arguments is echo, and it's gonna echo the string you use here. Similar here in Windows. So it's gonna echo the string you use here. Okay. So now how about doing something even more useful, which is we can put the argument called square So instead of echo, we put in something called square, and the help is going to be display a square of a given number. Okay, display a square of a given number. Then we put it inside, and here we're gonna print out argument squares, which is this one. So we just get the argument and dot square, and then square it. I think it's square input, but anyway, it is what it is. So I'm gonna try that again here. Test2. How can we run that? We put in 4, and what we got, choice back most recent last call. So unsupported operand types for that one, which is string and integer. So that's interesting. So that didn't go so well. Similar, you got the same thing in Windows as well. Why? That's because argument path treats the option we give it as string. So whenever we type in anything, so let's
tell argument path to treat input as an integer. How can we do that? We just change the type here to be integer, like that. Now that we got that the type is integer, we can run this again, and it's return argument dot square to is 16, which is in bash, and I'm gonna run it in command line Windows. We got the same thing. So next is the result. Okay, and if we put in something like 4, it's gonna tell us argument square invalid integer value 4. Similar here, we put in not number 4 but the text 4. We've got test2.py arrow, which is argument square invalid int value 4. So that went well. The program now even helpfully quits on bad illegal input before proceeding. Next is introducing optional arguments. So here we got positional argument. So next is optional argument. So I think instead of naming the file, it's not very meaningful. I'm gonna name it a bit more meaningful, like the concepts, okay, the basics. So I'm gonna name it as 1 basics, and here I'm gonna name it as maybe 2 positional argument. Okay, and next we got another, which is new script. Here I'm gonna update it. So I'm gonna create a new text file, and I'm gonna update it as 3, which is optional arguments, and of course it should be .py, and I just run it using Notepad. So far we have been playing with positional arguments, so let's have a look on how to add optional ones. So we got again import argument pass, no, it's correct, and then parser is a new object from argument pass dot argument parser. Then we add argument into that object. Let's go verbosity, and the health is increase, output verbosity, something like that. And we define argument is parser dot parser pass argument. We just get all the pass argument, and then if argument verbosity is true, we're gonna print out verbosity turned on. Okay, let's run it. Here we got Python 3, and we got 3, and put in verbosity is 1. So verbosity is turning on. Similar here in command line. We got Python, and we got 3, and verbosity is 1. We got the same. So it seems that up to now, so far, Windows and bash command is running the same way. How about we just put in that one only without any verbosity input? We got nothing. Here in bash command we got nothing, and similar
we type in help and we got that one, and we should have the same thing, help, similar. It looks a little bit different, not so much, just the way the information organized, but all the same information. Okay, it looks useful here, even maybe here a bit too quick, too big, that's alright. Okay, so then if we put in Python tree and verbosity, oh sorry, not Python tree, so we got something like this. Uses is that tree option arrow argument verbosity expect one argument. Okay, so do it again, Python tree here, tree and verbosity without any input. It's gonna tell us expect one argument. Cool. So again, here's what's happening. The program is written so as to display something when verbosity is specified and display nothing when not, to show that the option is actually optional. There is no arrow when running the program without it. Note that by default, if an optional argument isn't used, the relevant variable, in this case argument verbosity, is given none as a value, which is the reason it fails the truth test of the if statement. So, because if we don't, I think we can even put in else, or if not argument dot verbosity, then we can print now verbosity is up. Just give it a try. Okay, because we got nothing to show that the okay. So the help message is a bit different. When using the verbosity option, one must also specify some value, any value. So when we put in verbosity, we need to put in 1 or something like that. So that is the way it works for verbosity. So when we have a new argument parameter input here, we need to put in value, the name and the value for the input. The above example accepts arbitrary integer values for verbosity, but our singular program only 2 values are actually useful, true and false. So let's modify the code accordingly. We're gonna change it to be verbose, and the type of it is gonna be action is gonna be store true, and then just the same thing here. Of course, we comment this out, not gonna use this for now. And now we see the output, Python 3, and we put in verbose. What happened? It's not gonna work with single quote. This is store true is action is store true, verbosity, and then the health. Okay, so let's say how is run in Python 3 here, and just put in verbosity. Verbosity is turned on. As you can see here, we start seeing the difference between Windows and Bash command. So in Bash command free, but in Windows I did both. Okay, so it's working the same thing. Sorry for that. So what is happening? The option is now more of a flag than something that requires value. We even change the name of the option to match that idea. Note that we now specify a new keyword action and give it the value store true. This means that if the option is specified, assign the value true to argument verbose. Not specify it implies false. It complains when you specify a value in true spirit of what flags it actually are. Notice the difference help text. So we got that. So we run that again and we put in 1, and it's gonna say that not working. And if we put in just run that, say nothing. But if say h, gonna say option argument and verbosity increase output verbosity. So next we're gonna do is a short options. We're gonna make a new script, which is new one called for, which is short option dot py. So here we If you are familiar with command line usage, you will notice that I haven't yet touched the topic of short version of the options. It's quite simple. So we import argument pass and create a parser, which is argument pass. Then we using argument parser, that one, and we call we use that object to add argument into add an argument called -v, and which is verbose. Then we put in help, increase output, verbose is there, verbosity, and then we put in action, which is store true. And here we define argument, which is parser dot pass argument. So we pass all the argument parser into argument, and if argument verbose is equal to, I'll just say that verbose exists, we print the verbosity turn on. I'm just trying to type this again to make it more understandable whenever we type it. So we have option 4. So now we can run it using Python here, 3, which is 4, and we can use short verbose, and it's working like that. Similar in Windows command line, Python.4, and we put in wv like that. If we just put in health, you're gonna get health is actually short. So actually H is actually the short option of health, and V is the short option of verbose. Okay. So next we're gonna look at combine positional and optional arguments. I'm gonna go back to the folder. I'm gonna get a new text. Go file, combine up, combine pole and up.py, and to save time, I'm gonna copy and paste that. And here I got import that, create a parser, add square, type is integer, the health to display a square of a given number, and then add another parser with v. We got verbose, action is true, help is to increase the output verbosity. And then we assign the variable order. We put all input argument one variable. I think this is a list, but I think it's a list. Let's print argument type of argument. Test is the type. Let's print the type. Okay. And the answer now is actually getting the argument square, argument dot square, and then square it. After I got square it, I can if the argument verbose. So if we like to have argument verbose, if we put in v in the input parameter, it's gonna print out that, L is just print out the answer. So the square of something is equal something dot format, and we put in square and answer. That's very cool. We change a little bit here, so we can print something more, just to get more information. The answer, which is answer. So I'm just gonna save it, and let's run the program. So here in bash command, I'm gonna run Python 3 with I think 5. Just run that, and we're gonna get this is 5 h and square, 5 arrow for the square. So if we put in 4, we get 6, which is accurate the test. I just put in argument is a glass, and the answer is that. So what I put in, I put maybe this is pg, just run it again. So I got PM, so that means this one. But if I put in like this and put in V, I got the square of 4 is 16, because this is a verbose mode. So that is how it's working. Verbose, is that it to be in? No, it to be verbosity. Not sure. Let's see. So what I need to put a double. So I got that, and or I just put in minus. Similar in command line window. Got Python 5 and which 4, which is V like that, and which is double pose, and it's working the same. So we brought back a positional argument, hence the complaint. And note that the order does not matter. How about we give this program our back the ability to have multiple verbosity values and actually get to use them. So I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna create another one here, which is now should gonna be 6. So it says multi verbal.py, and copy the code on the left, put in here. So we got import that the module and create a new object. We add argument to object, we create new argument object, and the answer, which is that one. And then if verbosity is true, that means if the verbosity is true, that means print that verbosity is 1. And what does that mean? I'm not really get why verbosity is equal to true. Why we need to put in that? Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, so if we choose verbosity is the mode 1, that means this is very short. And if verbosity is true, so it means it has kind of multiple verbosity mode. Okay, let's try it. Try Python, and this is 6, and we put in 4. We got 6 that way, and we put v. We got that. It is not working. So to put in v and a value, which is verbosity mode 1, which is very short, and we got this. But we want mode 2, we got that. How about bash command? Got Python 3 6 v and we got need to put in 4, and we put v mode 1, got that. Pivot 2, that very detailed. So this all look good except the last one, which is put 3, and it's returned this. That's kind of strange. Why it's returned? Which exposes a bug in our program. Let's fix this by restricting the value of the verbosity option can accept. So we can come back to there, and we got a new script 7, which is bug.py, and in here we can copy and paste. And what actually do here is the same. We got add argument, 1 argument, and we add 2 argument, we pass in value. We got the answer is argument square power to the second power, and we got verbosity. If verbosity is 2, we print out this. If verbosity is 1 without it, and if else, we're gonna print out the answer. It's gonna be better but no, it's the same. So why this one is different? What is the difference in that one and the other? I don't see the difference. So this is new script, and this is the script. So I got here, and I got 6. Import parser square input verbosity type in. I got that choices. Okay. I got the choices 0 2. Okay. And previous one there's no choices. So that means you can only input in this kind of 0 1 2. You cannot put other option. Okay. That's the thing. It need to be integer, and it need to be within that choices, and everything is same. Okay. So coming back to 7 there. Try it now. Let's try in command window first. Python 7 and 4 and 3, and it's not working because why? It's not within this choice. So how about we get that and just put in help. So what does that mean? So we got all of that. Okay, so we got that. It should be the same. Here is in bash, so I don't need to run. So note that the change also reflect both in the error message as well as the help string. Now let's use a different approach of playing with verbosity, which is pretty common. It is also matches the way that C Python executable handles this all verbosity. Check the output python.help. So cool Python. It's gonna put a similar by this just. Okay, so we got another one say. So what is the difference? Say it as 8, which is new approach pi. So we got parser is get in, got square is integer, help for square verbosity, accent is count. The previous one we didn't have. Here we had is count, and the help increase out verbosity. Then we pass it outside. I got the answer. If verbosity is 2, we got that. If verbosity is, and we need to be count. Let's run it. So we have introduced another action counts to count the number of occurrence in a specific optional arguments. So we put in Python, and which is 8. Put 4. We got that. VV. We still got that. Verbosity still working. Wow. And if we just put in 4 and 1, not working, it will get an error. So we just put in H, what the health, but it can VVV is working. So again, what does that mean? That means if we put V like that, it's a short version. Double V should be a long version. So now the to control different verbosities, we don't use integer number. We use count of the character of the input. So whatever it is typing, if it's V will be short, just 2, 3, 4, 5 super short, but it is VV, it's gonna be long. Okay, because if the length VV, if the cow is 2, it's gonna be long. If the cow is 1, it's gonna be short. Whatever it is, that's interesting. But if the cow is 3, it's just print out the answer. Or if the cow is 4, it's also just print out good. Yes. It's now more of a flag, similar to action store true in the previous version of our script. That should explain the complaint. It also behaves similar to store true action. Now here's a demonstration of what the cow action gives. So you've probably seen this sort of usage before. If you don't specify the V tag, that flag is considered to have none value. As you should be expected, specifying the long form of the flag, we should get the same output. Here and here is the same output. Sadly, our help output isn't very informative on the new ability of our script have acquired. Yeah, not very. That last output exposes a bug in our business bug and actually the L, but we will throw the bug to L, so that's all right. Now let's fix this. We cannot put in 3, so let's see how we can fix. Put it in and put it 10 fix bug dot. So we got the square is the same, verbal cow, and something else is different. We need to find the difference between fixed version and the not fixed. What is the difference? So got that version parser, square is the same, verbosity is same, this one same, bug fix is to replace with that verbosity. Okay, it's more than 2. If verbosity is more than 2, okay, it's just change a little bit on that. If the verbosity is more than 2, the cow is more than 2, we're gonna print out the long version of verbosity. If the cow is more than 1, we're gonna print out the short version of that. L is just print out the answer. Let's make sense. So then 10, and similar we're gonna run that here. We're gonna get VVV, maybe put in 4 VVV. So we should not get why 10 fix where fix argument parser is not. Oh, we didn't even import argument parser. That's very good. Run again. So you got that. And here we can also run it with the same again and again. Maybe more, it works the same. And no verbal, it required to type some. So you just put in so that it's gonna throw an error. Okay, so no support between instant of non-start. Okay, so the first output went well and fixed the bug we had before. That's it. We want any value more than 2 to be as verbose as possible. But the third output is not so good. Now we need to fix it. We've got another one here and we've got fix here. We save at 11 and bug fix.py. So how is the fix working? We got the version of previous one, same verbosity. Now you need to put it default. If you don't input anything, it's gonna be default, and then it's gonna work. Everything is same. Okay, let's run it. Python 11.4 without any verbose is working. So you can quite far. You can go quite far just with that. What we've learned so far, and we have only scratched the surface. The argument pass model is very powerful, and we will explore a bit more of it before we end this tutorial. So next is getting a little bit more advanced. What if we wanted to expand our tiny program to power not just squares? So let's say this is gonna be 1 and it's gonna be 12. 1.py. So what we put in here, we import that, we put the argument parser object, add element x, which is the integer, the base, we add argument y, which is integer is the exponent, we add argument verbose, which is verbosity, and okay, and action we choose is count, and the default is 0. Okay, then put the argument in that, and the answer is x, powered by argument y. And if the argument verbosity is 2, I mean the number verbosity is 2, we're gonna print out the long version, and then we will print out short version. The short version is very interesting. Put in that for x, then well, yeah. So let's run it. Then which is that. If we run that one, it's gonna tell us usage 12 van dot something like that. Error following quad. Actually it's an error, so we put it again and we put in h, that means health. So the positional no, pretty clear, and optional the verbal the health is very clear. Why position consists of with verbosity. Good. And if we run that with 4 and 3 and minus v, that means 4 power 2 and verbal 1 we got, and double v we got. Cool. Notice that so far we've been using verbosity level change the text that gets displayed. The following example that uses verbosity level to display more text instead. So we got the next one is script, we call it 13 and change.py. So what's happened here? We put in the base, we put in the exponent, verbosity is cal and default low. Okay, the same. So we put in argument parser, we calculate the answer. If verbosity is more true, put short, and we O whatever it is, we O print, and the answer is at the end, and the running format file. Really, that it. We get running in that. Okay, let's how it works. Python. Which is 13 and 2. We type it, print out the answer. Here we put in verbal, short, long version, running 13 chain.py. Cool. Next is conflicting option. So far we have been working two methods, argument pass, argument parser, instant. Let's introduce a third one, add mutually exclusive group. It allows us to specify options that conflict with each other. So let's also change the rest of the program so that a new functionality make more sense. We'll introduce the quiet option, which will be opposite of the verbose. So we got here, and we make one change to be this 14, which is conflict. So what is different here? Add argument is we add normal argument, but from the beginning. So group is actually parser dot add mute excuse, and then in group here we add argument, so you verbal action, maybe it's and then help by help moment. So we got 4 arguments to add group. So 2 is in group and 2 is in parser. Okay, so group is mutually exclusive group, so which is v and q, v verbal and q required. Then pass them all, so we pass parser in there, but the group didn't pass any answer. That if answer required, which is q, we just print out the answer. And now if the verbal, if it's verbal, we're gonna print out the answer with the format is argument, but it's not verbal, and it's not quiet, it whatever something else. We're gonna print in the we're gonna print out. Then let's try Python, and we got this is 14 and try it here. 4 and 2. We got that. So that one is equivalent to this, no verbose at all. And we put in just q, it's very quiet, and just the result only. And we put it v, it's verbose, and it's very long. And if we put in VQ, for example, it's gonna have an arrow, and if we put in quiet, you're gonna put in an arrow as well. Now this should be easy to follow. I've added that last output so you can see the sort of flexibility you get. In other words, mixing long form and option with short form ones. Before we conclude, you probably want to tell your users the main purpose of the program, so just in case they don't know. So you can put in here, which is 15, and we call it for purpose .py. And here we got argument passing. We got some description, calculate, put in some description from the beginning, and then we add the mutually exclusive, and the mutually exclusive can be divided into 2, and we got add argument. So argument is for calculation, and mutually exclusive is for choosing a kind of What's interesting that when we pass actually if when we add argument to group, it is also add to parser as well, but it is classified as mutually exclusive group argument. So that's good, it's separated, but it's also in here. So that's why when we assign group here, but we didn't use later, because actually it is. So instead of using group like that, I think, just what I think, I'm gonna try it here. I'm gonna save this as number 2, and instead of using group, I'm gonna just copy this and put in here and put in here. It's very long, I know that, and I'm gonna run that 14, but instead of conflict that, I'm gonna make it 2 again. Okay, so Python 14. Okay, and then just put in probably 4 and 2. I got it. It's looking the same. V quiet VV. It's still pretty flexible. So that's it, and go to here. For this case, what we got is the verbose and the quiet is the same. That one is the same. But in here, if quiet would be an answer, verbal would be in that one. It looks the same. So what is the difference? We just put in the description of the program. So we can run this again using that Python, and which is 15, and we put in help. And you see that we got from the beginning, calculate x to the power of y, and then something else. Conclusion: the argument parser module offers a lot more than we shown here. Its docs are quite detailed and thorough and full of examples. So having gone through this tutorial, you should easily digest them without feeling overwhelmed. So that's it for this tutorial about using argument pass tutorial argument module. Again, thanks to the author here, and if you want to refer to this, go to this website. So learning my Python is just going to official documentation, and you're gonna get very good tutorial. Actually, you don't need to learn from tutorial and like taking courses, but it seems that for me, I feel like when you have some fundamental, you can go to reading doc. But if you are new to the tutorial, and because in the documentation they got a lot of jargons and stuff, and it's very hard for beginners. But when you get used to with the terms, you will find that useful, informative, and straight to the point. And that's it for this video.